Oh my, do you know what time it is? It's time to get ready to go back to school. Let's have a story time about it. Come on in. Have a seat. You know, I always like to start with a book. If you put your hands like this and open and close them, it looks like a book. Let's start our song. The more we read together, 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 the more we read together, the happier we'll be. Read big books and small books and short books and tall books. The more we read together, the happier we'll be. Let's try that one more time. The more we read together, 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 the more we read together, the happier we'll be. Read big books and small books and short books and tall books. The more we read together, the happier we'll be. Great job, everybody. Well, you know, that song always makes me hungry. And it makes me hungry for a big old bowl of soup. Now, I think today I am going to have a tomato soup. That just sounds kind of nice. It's a wait a minute. I don't eat tomato soup. I'm a librarian. Books have words and letters. Alphabet soup. It's alphabet soup that I eat. Can you help me with my rhyme? It goes like this. Rub your stomach and say alphabet soup, gee, it tastes swell. Alphabet soup, what does it spell? Let's try that again. Alphabet soup, gee, it tastes swell. Alphabet soup, what does it spell? Well, let's see what the letters spell today. What is this first letter? Oh, I'll bet you guessed it. That's an S. Sounds like this. How about this one? C. That can sound like S or K. How about this one? H. That sounds like ha, ha. This one? Right, that's an O. Sounds like ah. And now we have another O. And it sounds like ah again. And finally, we've got this letter L. Does anybody know what that spells? That spells school. I'll bet a lot of you are going off to school very soon. And I think you're going to have a great time. Today, we're going to read some stories about going to school, and we're going to do some different activities. And I'll show you how to make a fancy pencil topper. Let's get started. Our first book is called Don't Be Silly, Mrs. Millie by Judy Cox. This is a fun story. I think this teacher gets a little bit confused. Mrs. Millie, our teacher, is really silly. Every day she says, "Good morning, children. Please hang up your goats." Don't be silly, Mrs. Millie. You mean our coats. That does look silly. At 8 o'clock, our teacher announces, "Please rise for the frog salute." Oh no, we shout, "You mean the flag salute." It's 9 o'clock, time to write, Mrs. Millie says. "Get out your paper and penguins." Don't be silly, Mrs. Millie. You mean our paper and pencils. At 10 o'clock, it's recess time. Our teacher looks out the window. It just stopped raining cats and dogs. Don't step in a poodle. Oh, don't you mean a puddle? We ask, giggling. Look at all those cats and dogs down there. We play outside until our teacher blows her whistle. Recess is over, she yells. It's time to chameleon. Don't be silly, Mrs. Millie. You mean it's time to come in. There's a chameleon. At 11 o'clock, Mrs. Millie says, "You may get drinks, but don't cut in the lion." You mean the line, we yell. At 12 o'clock, our teacher announces time for lunch. Wash your hands with soap and walrus. You're silly, Mrs. Millie. You mean soap and water. I don't think you'd get very clean washing with a walrus. As we get in line, Mrs. Millie reminds us, "Don't forget your lunch bunny." Oh, that's right, our lunch money, we shout. She doesn't mean bunny. Mrs. Millie puts on her glasses to read the menu. They have gorilla cheese sandwiches today. Don't be silly, Mrs. Millie. You mean grilled cheese sandwiches. At 1 o'clock, our teacher picks up a book. It's story time. Come sit on the bug. You're so silly, we cry. You mean sit on the rug. At 2 o'clock, Mrs. Millie calls us to the back of the room. It's time for art. Who wants to paint on the weasel? You mean the easel, Mrs. Millie. How can you be so silly, we ask. After art, our teacher asks, who's hungry? We have parrot sticks and crackers. We know what you mean. Carrot sticks and crackers, we yell. At 3 o'clock, Mrs. Millie smiles. What a fun day we've had, but it's time to go home. Put on your bats and kittens. Don't be silly, Mrs. Millie. You mean our hats and mittens. When we're ready to leave, our teacher goes to the door. Butterfly, children. No, Mrs. Millie, we shout. You don't mean butterfly. You mean goodbye. Mrs. Millie laughs. We laugh too. Butterfly, Mrs. Millie. See you gator. And we wave goodbye as we get onto the octopus. That sounds like a fun classroom. Well, Miss Millie was a silly teacher. That was a fun story. Well, you know, you're going to see different things at school. And I thought maybe you could help me by telling me what things I'm going to see at school. Let's look at this first one. A pencil. Is that something you would see at school? Oh, I think so. Well, let's see. How about this? This is something you'd certainly see at school. A box of crayons. Oh, yeah. Now, of course you're going to see it. Wait a minute. A duck? I don't think you're going to see a duck at school. Let's put him way down here. Oh my goodness, that's so silly. How did that get in there? All right, let's see who this might be. A teacher. You're going to see a teacher at school, aren't you? Oh yeah. And of course, you always have wedding cakes. Wedding cake? No. Oh my goodness, how did that get in there? Let's try this again. Will you see children at a desk? I think so. You're going to see that when you go to school. And of course, you're going to see an astronaut? No. Oh my goodness. You're not going to see an astronaut at school, but you might see children playing. I think so. School is a very fun place, and you're going to get to do some fun things. There are different things that you do in a classroom than you do at home. First of all, if you want to ask the teacher a question, you just raise your hand. Can you do that? When she sees your hand up and there's time, she'll call on you and you can ask her your question. Another thing you need to do in school is to walk in a straight line. Maybe that's something that you can practice with your brothers and sisters at home or your parents or some friends. And remember, when you're walking in a straight line in the hall at school, you want to be very quiet. Another thing that you're going to need to know how to do is to say your alphabet. Why don't we try it now and sing the alphabet song? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I've said my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Great job. Maybe they'll ask you to count to 10. Can you count to 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. And if you don't know your alphabet song or your numbers up to 10, the teachers are going to teach you how to do it. And remember, just listen to your teacher and do what she says or he says, and it's a lot of fun. Our next book is called Mary Had a Little Glam. Glam stands for glamorous, and that means dressing fancy. And this is written by Tammy Sawyer. Mary had a little glam that grew into a lot, and everywhere that Mary went, she wasn't hard to spot. Do you see her there? There she is. Looks like she's been shopping. Is that your curtain? Meow. But on the day she started school, she caught some by surprise. Sweet Mary shrugged and hugged her mom. I must accessorize. That means to put on jewelry and scarves and things. Then Mary click-clacked down the block in frilly formal wear, and by the time she got to school, she'd added extra flair. When Mary took a look around, her heart was filled with woe. The other kids in class with her were glamless, head to toe. Look how glamorous she is, but the others aren't so much. So Mary offered fashion tips. More pink, more beads, more shine. A hat for him and trim for her. Go boa, that's a boa, it's divine. Soon Mary brought out the glitz and glam in everyone she met. The students, teacher, principal, and Clark, the classroom pet. Even Clark. Now Storytime had gowns and crowns and mounds of striped chiffon. The art class came with glitter glue and trips to her salon. She's so fun. Then Mary amped up music class with pomp and circumstance. At checkout time, she was sublime, left not one thing to chance. She's decorating even the statues. The morning flew, and soon it was the best part of the day. It's recess time, the teacher said, and Mary led the way. Oh, look, they all look so glamorous. But all came to a sudden stop. Each kid surveyed the scene. We're clearly dressed all wrong for this. Boo-hooed the 17. Poor Mary twirled her parasol. The crisis was at 10. She'd never figure out a plan. All was lost. But then she tossed her shades and silk-lined cape, her scarf and strappy shoes, and Mary's friends were just as fast. There was no time to lose. The class raced for the jungle gym, the spiral slide and swings. Then Mary grinned and grabbed a ball, among some other things. Oh, I think they're having a wonderful time at the playground. Now Mary's flair for what to wear is better than before. True glamour often calls for lots, but sometimes less is more. I think she learned you don't have to be glamorous everywhere. And that's the end. Mary really liked to dress up and have a little glam, which just stands for glamour. Now, she knew, though, when you went to recess, you didn't need to be wearing glam. You just needed to go have fun. But let's see what you're going to be wearing to school. As a matter of fact, I wonder what clothes you have on right now. Let's find out. If your clothes have any red, any red. If your clothes have any red, any red. If your clothes have any red, stretch your hands above your head. If your clothes have any red, any red. If your clothes have any yellow, any yellow. If your clothes have any yellow, any yellow. If your clothes have any yellow, jiggle like a bowl of jello. If your clothes have any yellow, any yellow. If your clothes have any green, any green. If your clothes have any green, any green. If your clothes have any green, tilt your body till you lean. If your clothes have any green, any green. If your clothes have any white, any white. If your clothes have any white, any white. If your clothes have any white, stomp your feet with all your might. If your clothes have any white, any white. If your clothes have any blue, any blue. If your clothes have any blue, any blue. If your clothes have any blue, reach down and tap your shoes. If your clothes have any blue, any blue. I'm sure you'll pick out great clothes to wear to school. Let's read our next story. The last book that we're going to read is called The School Book by Todd Parr. I love how colorful this book is, and it really shows you some of the different things that you're going to experience at school. It's time for school. She looks so happy. We get dressed, and we eat breakfast. We pack our lunches, even the dog has his lunch, and we get our backpacks. We all go to school. Some children walk to school or ride their bikes. Some ride in a car and some ride the school bus. Now, I've never seen any in a flying saucer, though. We make everyone feel welcome. We meet our new teacher. We have so much to do together. We eat healthy snacks. Let's look at what they say on the blackboard. It's okay to make mistakes. Be respectful. Be kind. Be who you are. It's okay to be different. And don't pick your nose. I guess that's all very good advice. We take care of our pets. Looks like they have a hamster and some fish. And we nap. I think that would be my favorite part of the day. We visit the library. Oh, that would be my favorite part of the day. And we dance. We play outside. And we eat lunch. Looks like there are lots of choices. Mac and cheese, a burrito, nuggets, and sushi. Wow. We have visitors. Oh, it looks like some community helpers came in. If we get hurt, we get help. There's the nurse. Her name is Sarah. We read lots of books. Looks like a story time. We paint and draw. We make things. We water our garden. Oh, there are just so many fun things to do. We exercise our bodies. There's some basketball and soccer. We relax our minds. We share our things. They're having show and tell here. We share our stories. We go home and we talk about everything we learned. There are lots of fun things to do at school. Always be kind and don't pick your nose. The end. That's very good advice. Let's do a song about a school bus. The wheels on the school bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the school bus go round and round, all the way to school. Do you know what the children do? They go talk, talk, talk. The children on the school bus go talk, 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 talk. The children on the school bus go talk, 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 all the way to school. Do you know what that driver has to say? The driver on the school bus goes shh, 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 shh. The driver on the school bus goes shh, 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 all the way to school. All right, now when you get to school, the doors are going to have to go open and shut. Are you ready? The doors on the school bus go open and shut, open and shut, open and shut. The doors on the school bus go open and shut, all the way to school. I hope you enjoyed that school story time. A fun and easy thing to make for school is a pencil topper. To make a pencil topper with a pipe cleaner and foam stickers, all you have to do is wrap the pipe cleaner around your pencil and then stick the two foam pieces together. It's very simple to make one. I found this idea at a website called Sturdy for Common Things. If you need the supplies to make a pencil topper, just email me at bowen@mcls.ms and I'll get some supplies together for you. I hope you have a wonderful start to your school year.